instructional video for your cutover. Alright, as you can see here, I have my wire. You got your numbers here. I'm going to show you as if we're cutting over the TNI. I'm going to strip it at about here because you only need about that much slack of wire exposed for the TNI. If you're in the terminal, it's a little bit more difficult. You want quite a bit more. You want probably about a good 3-4 feet in the terminal above where you strip it. Well, I'd say about 2.5-3 feet really. I want to be a little realistic, but just lightly run your razor around it, and you see the number, all the writing here on this side. When you lightly run your razor around it, if you kind of put a little kink in it, you'll see that's where the copper folds over inside the copper shielding there. And you just run your razor down about 1 inch, and you should be able to pop that right through. Take your needle nose and it's really hard to do on video. And make sure everything's being seen. And if you were grounding a nid, that's pretty much all you'd have to do right here, after you punch a hole through it, of course, like yay. And you got a little hole through it, and then you shove one of your little coin bond, or the non-studded bond, after you shove this onto a stud inside a TNI. Then you just fold over a coin bond onto it. But in the terminal, you would put a studded coin bond here, put one of those blue ground straps, and then a second coin bond, unless it's a newer terminal that just has some bolts sticking out, kind of like that you can just fold over a regular coin bond like you would in the nid. But I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just the ground that most people get confused on. And I mean, it's not too difficult. You just got to remember to make it look pretty. If you make it look pretty, then nobody will judge. They won't even really check your jobs. But I mean, after that, it's pretty self-explanatory with the wire itself. As you can see here, you just expose the wire and you connect your blues to your blues, your orange to orange, green to green. You know, it all depends on whether or not they got a 6-pair in there that you're cutting over and they're using like brown or something like that, but you can just still use blue on it instead. We always use blue, orange, then green. So if you only have one cutover, you use the blue. If you have 2 cutovers, you use blue, then orange, so on and so forth. But I mean, pretty much that's how you ground it. It looks a little sloppy. You want to try to get this rubber piece behind here level with it when you ground it, so that way it looks nice and pretty. Then you just shove your coin bond through there and put one of your ground straps on it and bring it down the wire. Bring it down the wire, and then ground it to your terminal. There should either be a strap in the terminal, a little fork sticking out, a little 2-pronged fork that you can fold one of your studded coin bonds over, and then shove the bond over it first, the strap, and then fold over the coin bond. And then when you're done with all that, after connecting and all that, when you put the address on it, put it on this part. Don't put it up here. We've been getting a few complaints about that. put your address tag down here. But of course, if you're in the terminal, you want a lot more wire than that. But you don't have to, don't expose all this wire right here if you're in the terminal. Come about a good little ways up, then start exposing wire, because like I said, you want 2.5, 3 feet. So you want to leave this little rubber shielding that's underneath this copper shield around the wire, about that length up, and then start stripping whatever you need. But I mean, other than that, just give me a call or anything if y'all have any questions.